Thank you. Maybe at this point I will invite questions. What happened? Yeah. I'll say it afterwards. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, take that. So, was it yesterday or today? Ratnaradhika asked why Narakasura, in spite of being the son of Varahadev and Dharitri, became a demon. So in that purport, Prabhupada actually mentioned that he became a demon due to his bad association with Vanasura. Thank you. Krishna Balaram actually found it and he showed it to me. Any other question?
Maharaj, I'm not sure, but I thought that I read, but maybe I'm wrong, that when Shalva attacked Dwarka, so was he assisted by Dantavakra also?
Was he?
Assisted by Dantavakra?
Yeah, could have been, yeah. Because Dantavakra also was Shishupal's friend.
So they both were killed together?
No, Dantavakra was killed later.
Oh, okay.
Dantavakra was not killed at that time. I think it was Shalva who was killed, attacked. I don't know whether Dantavakra came along with him.
Anyway, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Any demons did penance to Lord Krishna or Vishnu? Every demon was praying or penance doing only Shiva.
Yeah.
Anybody
Shiva or Brahma.
No Vishnu.
Because if they surrender to Krishna and perform penance to please him, then they won't be demons, they will become devotees.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, there are some archaeologists, some scientists who actually went underwater in the area where Dwarka was situated, and they found certain artifacts, certain things, certain stones, which they say is 5,000 years old and stuff. So my question is, first of all, could it have been Dwarka's remnants? Could it have been Dwarka's remnants, and if so, two things. One is, Dwarka is said to be full of all these gold and diamonds, the walls made of gold and all sorts of things, but they only find stones and other stuff. So is it like could have been Salva's city which actually fell in the water or something?
So that means you don't want to believe that Dwarka city was there.
No, I'm just asking what should we make of these discoveries?
And what makes you think that the Sobha city of Shalva was not full of gold and other precious metals? Anyway, the thing is that to what extent they actually have found it. When we say that Dwarka city was there, it is there. It was there. And Dwarka, after Krishna withdrew his pastime, Dwarka disappeared in the middle of the ocean. And it is not just inert matter that we are dealing with. the other aspects, the wealth aspect could have been taken away by Mother Earth. Like, for example, the mountains are supposed to be full of jewels. But nowadays we don't find it. Why? Because Mother Earth has taken it away. Because otherwise already people are plundering her. So what to speak of when they find all these jewels and gems? And besides that, they are not interested in the real wealth nowadays. They are interested in the garbage. The garbage of the earth today has become the most precious object. Oil oil, mineral oil, this oil is actually the garbage of the earth. But they're pumping out the garbage and filling up the atmosphere with that garbage.
Taken over by the sea, was there something behind it?
Because when Krishna withdrew his pastimes, he withdrew his associates and he also withdrew his dham. The dham appeared due to his presence on this planet. So when he left, that also disappeared.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, as you mentioned in the class this morning that Jay and Vijay descended to give Veer Ras to Krishna. So how do we understand that Shishupal was killed so easily, without much fight and?
Good question. So the fighting spirit, it seems, is diminishing with the passing of time. The fight was most severe in Satyuga. It became somewhat lesser severe in Treta Yuga. And in Dwapar Yuga, especially with Shishupal, with Dantavakra there was a big fight. But with Shishupal, he just didn't fight, just because his insults were so intolerable, it became like Krishna didn't even want to fight with him because he was so insulting. Okay, let's take it in this order. First is Wendy, then Utkrish, and then Vaibhava.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So I'm hoping you can give some clarification on Lord Shiva. He's said that he's the topmost devotee of Krishna. Yet in Bhagavatam, he's the Lord of the underworld, but he also gives shelter, as I am understanding, to demons who maybe want to kill Krishna. So how does that make him the topmost devotee of Krishna?
He is the topmost devotee of Krishna because of his devotion to him, his surrender to him. It's because he is always constantly thinking about Krishna, meditating upon Krishna. He doesn't have any external consciousness. Right? He is completely absorbed. Therefore, non-devotees take advantage of that. They take advantage because he is so absorbed in devotion that he doesn't really reason or consider the consequences. So when somebody wants something, he says, okay, take it. Right? And the demons take advantage of that. And it is not that the demons only take advantage. Devotees also take advantage. But the devotee's advantage is in asking for devotion from Lord Shiva. So the devotees, they will ask from Lord Shiva?
get closer to Krishna.
that please bless us that we can become devotees of Krishna. We can develop a loving attitude towards Krishna.
And yet he still, in his devotion to Krishna, will give shelter to the demons and give them what they want as well, just because he's blind. They're very, very easily giving shelter, and Krishna's okay with that. And
I didn't get the
I said,
last.
and Krishna's okay with the fact that he gives shelter to demons and gives them, the ability to crush someone's head or something like that. So, this still in this.
Well, these pastimes are actually meant to teach us certain lessons. It's arranged in such a way that before he could harm anybody, he was destroyed. And through that, what we understand, one thing, the demons accelerate their own destruction in this way.
For one more follow-up on this, does having taken shelter in Shiva give them any sort of benefit for when they are killed through something? Shiva gave them this ability and he crushed his own head. Does this give him any sort of benefit or spiritual progress or advancement because they were taking shelter in Shiva versus someone else?
The devotee's way will be just put the head on, you'll go back to Godhead.
And the demons?
And the demons may take advantage in another way. Right? Demons want to destroy you, devotees want to benefit you.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Utkrisht.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. You were talking that Indraprasth was designed such that a liar or a dishonest person would see land as water and water as land. So was Dwarika similar or kind of like Mayavi because I think it was designed by Vishwakarma?
No. Maidanav's arrangement was that way. Dwarka's arrangement was not that. Rather, Dwarka had the Sudharma assembly given by Indra. And there, whoever came there achieved all kinds of auspiciousness. Okay, so next is his question. Him, this way. Thank you, Krishnadas, for rendering such wonderful service.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class, Maharaj. You mentioned that Shishupal merged into Krishna. Can you explain more as to what it means to merge into Krishna? Is it the same as merging into Brahmajyoti since he was a demon?
So generally when they merge into Krishna's body, they get Sarupya Mukti, similar kind of form. There are 4 kinds of liberation in Vaikuntha. Those 4 liberations are Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya and Shashti. Sarupya liberation is getting the same form as Narayan. Right? They get, in Vaikuntha, the residents look exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. They have bluish complexion, they have 4 arms, they wear yellow garments, and so forth. So in Vaikuntha, everyone has the Sarupya. So when somebody merges into the body of the Lord, then it is said that he gets the Sarupya Mukti. So Sarupya is one kind. Another Vaikuntha liberation is being able to stay in the same planet as Krishna, Salokya. Samipya, being able to be close to him. And Shashti, having the same opulence as the Lord himself.
Maharaj, yesterday you mentioned that demons go into Brahmajyoti when they're killed by Krishna. Shishupal didn't have that fate. Is there a reason behind why?
Well, because Shishupal was constantly absorbed in thinking of Krishna. He was always thinking of Krishna. So therefore he had that. Same thing with Kamsa. He was always thinking of Krishna. But out of envy. So whether we... so this is the benefit of thinking about Krishna. Like even if we think of him in an unfavorable way, still we get the benefit.
Maharaj, Hare Krishna. My question may be silly, Maharaj, but I just wanted to say it. I was just wondering why demons with wrong knowledge have such determination and they're able to please demigods and they're able to get
Who
the
was
boons.
that?
Demons.
Demons.
Demons. So they have such determination and they get what they want and they're able to even fight with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But human beings with supposedly right knowledge that we have to render devotional service unto Krishna, but why are we lacking in determination? Or at least myself, Maharaj.
Well, it depends upon one's intensity of purpose. The demons, you see, they are so absorbed in getting what they want, that creates that determination. But when that determination of purpose is missing, is not there, then that determination is lacking. Like if you want to get something really earnestly, sincerely, won't you become serious about it?
Yeah.
Right? So it depends how earnestly one wants something. And when somebody is... So that is whether demon or demigod, demon or devotee, it applies the same way. In most cases, as you were saying, like our intensity to make spiritual advancement is not strong enough. We take things for granted, right? Therefore, that determination is lacking. But as the intensity becomes strong, then the determination also will be strong.
And that determination is through chanting,
Yeah.
honestly crying out for Krishna.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Like it depends how earnestly, how sincerely you want something. Just consider, when there is so much water, do you really care for water? Consider yourself in the middle of a desert. For 2 days you didn't have any water to drink. How earnestly you want a glass of water at that time. Right?
So Maharaj, that actually brings up a follow-up question that only people who are extremely frustrated take to Krishna. It's not that case, right, Maharaj? So how to earnestly cry out for Krishna?
That can be one reason. The other reason also can be the illusory energy of the Lord is so bewildering that we get enamored by that. You see, here we are just caught up with our material situation. Our senses are perceiving only material objects. Therefore, we are completely caught up with this materialistic situation. And as a result of that, we are not so serious about our spiritual, because the spiritual reality you cannot see now. The spiritual reality, therefore, doesn't appear to be so real. What is real is the illusory world is real now. And that's why we are caught up in this. Therefore, our prayer is, my Lord, please kindly remove your illusory influence and allow me to see your transcendental form.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
I think your son has a question. Come here and ask.
Come here and ask.
Come in the front. And let everybody see you. You can come up on the stage. Come up on the stage. Okay, now tell me what's your question.
How does the demons, do they know him or is God or not?
How do the demons?
Krishna, how does Kamsa know he's God or not God?
How does Kamsa know whether Krishna was God or not God? Actually, Kamsa didn't want to accept him to be God. And that's the problem.
I don't know what accept means.
Accept means take him to be God.
He doesn't know he's God.
No, he doesn't know he's God. Do you know that he is God? No?
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
but I won't know if Kamsa knows he's God or not.
Kamsa didn't know. Only after he was killed by Krishna, then he realized that. But still, it was not too late. Because by being killed by Krishna, he achieved his spiritual destination. Hare Krishna. Thank you for a beautiful question. Come here. I forgot your name. I forgot your name. Rachit. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Thank you, Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, Premanjana, ask.
Guru Maharaj, on our Vaishnava calendar, I never seen Subhadra's appearance day, and I haven't heard pastime of her appearance. So,
Subhadra's appearance.
Yeah.
I have to check it. I also don't remember. Other pastimes are there, like Krishna, Arjun kidnapped Subhadra,
Yeah.
and that. But Subhadra's appearance, anyway, I have to find out.
Thank you, Guru.
Any other question? Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande.